Thank you for listening to MichaelFranklinJr.com on Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to MichaelFranklinJr.com. Today is a historic day. It is the impeachment of Donald Trump. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I wanted to give a disclaimer first before I get into this. I am not a Trump supporter. I just want to let you know that I don't support anybody in the government. I don't like the government. Don't have no cares for anyone in the government or anyone they try to put up in our face and say, choose from this person who we put up there or this person who we put up there. I don't want to choose either way from the government, but it's a historic day. Donald Trump has officially been impeached. And I was talking to our Martian the One about the reason why I believe that he was impeached. It's a personal opinion, but this is why I believe that he was impeached. Because when Donald Trump originally ran for office, Donald Trump did not want to run for office. He ran because the government was showing so much corruption that he wanted to clean things up. He wanted to clean up America. He wanted to clean, the government who was being beat out of trade deals, and cheating the American people and lying to everybody in the world. And constantly it was the group of people that were in the government, more like a family. Because it's like, just like they're all tied in family. Did you know that? They're all part of the same family.
The government?
Yes. Obama is related to the Bushes. Did you know that?
Wow. I never knew that.
Related to the Reagans. It's a family thing. And if you're not in that family, you will not be a president.
That's sad. That mean the country is low-key.
I don't know about Donald Trump. I think actually Donald Trump is kind of like in the family. Maybe he has to be in the family. I don't think he would have been elected either if he wasn't in the family.
Probably not.
But his goal was to clean up the government. And so by him being the president and that being his goal, I understand. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised that he was impeached. Because the narrative the whole time, even by black people, is that Donald Trump is horrible. He should never be in the office.
Yeah.
And we don't want him here. He's not part of our group. So
it's because the way it's mostly with the black people. It's the way he came out. Because he was coming out saying "Make America Great Again."
That's one thing. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
black America has never been great for black people.
It hasn't. So when you say "Make America Great Again,"
right now, actually, the time is a little bit greater for black people. This is the best it's ever been.
Yeah, this is the best time to be black because now we have no restraints. You kind of don't have any restraints. There's still prejudice. It's still prejudice out there. But as far as restraints, there's nothing restraining a black person right now. Currently, there's nothing.
Well, besides, again, once I said economic inclusion.
Oh,
but
but there's the restraints are at the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah. I mean, we can do almost anything at this point.
Yeah.
We've been creators. We've been, we have millionaires and billionaires.
Yep.
So it's like
it's pretty open.
Yeah, it's pretty open. It's an open playing field at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm only seeing it getting more open.
Yeah. You know? It's getting to the point where Black people, even though there's still the prejudice. Okay, the prejudice will never end because you're always going to have that family that supports that prejudice.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the point where the prejudice is starting not to matter as much as it used to matter.
Yeah. Because they have people who are actually gaining success and being successful.
Yeah. Black millionaires and I just want to.
But the problem with that is they're taking them down. Like
that part. Yeah.
They're trying to take down.
Yeah. And you see it with even the Black people. They'll sit there and try to take down other Black people that successfully made it instead of being proud at the fact that we were. Like I was saying this to somebody else on the comment sections on my Instagram because that's kind of where I live.
Yeah.
But I was saying this to somebody. You should be proud that a Black man was able to do something that we weren't originally supposed to do. We weren't when America was made and built off of Black people. We weren't supposed to be included. We weren't supposed to be able to become millionaires. For most of the part of American history, we were excluded from the millionaire club, from the freedom, basically.
Yeah.
That finances give you, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like now that you see Black people being included in this freedom off the hard work that they do, you can't do nothing but have pride for the people that do it and try to do it yourself. But Black people have a stigma going on in the community where they're trying to pull each other down. They're trying to make sure that their own type aren't able to do what, we're now able to do.
Yeah. And everything still, it has to go through we're in America. I mean, in the United States. So no matter what we do in the United States, it has to go through the other culture. It has to go through white people. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, and that's a sad thing because I was looking at, we're starting to have Black-owned banks.
Yeah. And
all of that type of stuff. And then the Black-owned banks are FDIC insured. So I'm thinking you have to have that regulation. You have to be FDIC insured in order to be a Black bank, which is, you have to be regulated by
white people.
Pretty much white people, governed by white laws, white people laws. And for me, it's like no matter what we have to do, no matter what we do, we're still under the rule. Of the government. We're under the rule of the government. We're under the rule of the white people in America. But another push that things people are actually going to Africa. There's things happening in Africa. I don't know that much about it, but I hear that there's things going on in Africa. And Africa is very wealthy. There's a lot of wealthy people in Africa, but I believe that you can possibly go out there and start your own business and not have to go under, the rule of, the white people. But the main thing about today is that they knocked this man out of the White House. They knocked Donald Trump out of the White House. I didn't care about him being in the White House at all, And it was surprising, even because I watched the whole thing, and even during this whole thing, how they constantly called him a racist. They constantly bashed this man, and you never heard none of that stuff until he actually became the president. That's another thing I wanted to mention. Nobody ever talked about Donald Trump being a racist until he became president.
I just want to go on to say that Donald Trump don't seem to be the one that's trying to destroy America. To be honest,
Yep.
I just been watching. That's what
and
I do.
I'm not for Trump. Donald Trump. I've done another disclaimer. Not for Donald Trump. Just want to let y'all know.
Yeah, but I've been watching what's been going on, and it seems like the politicians. That's why I don't really trust the government. I don't trust because of the simple fact that
they lie constantly.
They constantly lie, and they sit here and they agree. They basically agree to the self-destruction of America for money. Because
and they've been doing that for years.
Yeah, and it's been recently a law was getting passed in California that will see the destruction of self-employment through things like Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, all of those companies where you don't have to go to somebody to interview, you don't have to do anything, and the clarifications to start are completely clear, and you can work your own hours. You can basically kind of be your own CEO, your own manager, your own business, And now that's being destroyed for profit through politicians because they're passing a law in California that regulates the amount of people that are able to do this. Yeah. So instead of like 1,000 people being able to do Uber, it's going to be limited to 100 people doing Uber. And all the other people are going to be right back where they started before they do Uber. Because everybody knows the reason you probably signed up for Uber is because you was probably looking for a job, you couldn't find one, but you needed money.
Yeah.
Because money,
And it gives you freedom.
Yeah, it gives you freedom to make as much money as you want. And to work the hours that you want. It's like being able to be your own boss.
Your own boss, yeah.
Yeah, and that's coming down. That's being destroyed by politicians and businesses. But the politicians should be thinking what's better for America. And what would be better is to keep that unregulated so that people can be able to make money and to be able to eat. But they regulated it, of course, because, big corporations are able to funnel all of this money into regulations and cut back on
I'm actually
like that.
surprised that Uber and Lyft were able to even come especially into Las Vegas. Now, if you know anything about Las Vegas...
they hate other businesses.
Las Vegas is a mob town. It was created by, the mafia. And the cab companies are, I would say, pretty much were ran by the mafia. So I'm surprised that these people were able to create even, to even come into Las Vegas with Uber and Lyft. I see the cab companies are trying to fight and trying to use their own app called, I guess, Curve or whatever. They're trying to create an app to where you can do the same thing, but I'm surprised people ain't just getting knocked off.
That part.
I think a lot of the mafia is changing. The
world is changing. We're going into a different time in life.
It's not the Italian mafia anymore. I think it's the other mafia, which is not to be mentioned on the air. You know what? I don't care. LGBTQ mafia is running everything right now because this is my show and I don't care. I'm gonna mention it. It's the LGTB, the alphabet mafia. They're the ones who are running everything right now. So, then that's probably even why Donald Trump was impeached. I can't even, I honestly ain't no telling. But it is, like I said, today is a historic day. What was it? It's the third president ever
to be impeached. Yeah.
To be impeached.
And then just for you people out there, I kind of did just a slight bit of research because I have a hard time believing the government due to all of the things that they already shoved in our face, like NASA lying.